Lo dejé justamente antes de triggerearla, ¿vale? Así que me daba muchísimo miedo. Lo único que he estado farmeando un poquito para Cino. Voy, un momento, a pausar aquí y a pausar aquí, que si no, la gráfica se me muere, ¿vale? Si habéis visto alguna cosilla rara, algún lagazo, alguna cosilla, pues es eso, ¿vale? Que la gráfica se me está muriendo porque el juego me mata. He estado subiendo a Cino, ¿vale? Que me tocó en el final del vídeo anterior. Y lo subí al 50 porque farmear escarabajos es una mierda, ¿vale? Es lo peor que he visto en el mundo, ¿vale? Es farmear estos escarabajos de aquí. Es horrible. Y hablando de farmear, voy a bloquear las solicitudes de ingreso porque si no vamos a estar toda la tarde con solicitudes por ahí arriba, ¿vale? A ver qué tal. Hola, buenas. Kazan. Ok, dale duro. Estamos buscando ahora mismo al abuelo del niño ese que nos vio la anterior parte de la misión, ¿vale? Rico. Están mal de la cabeza, señor. No se ponga así. Eso es todo lo que tengo que decirte. O sea, que hay cosas que se está guardando, ¿eh? O sea, hay que tener cierta labia con la información y en este caso nos están ocultando algo, ¿eh? Alguien sabe algo. Puede ser simplemente que sea una forma de decirlo y ya está, ¿vale? Tampoco hace falta irse al extremo. Pero eso. ¿Se le está haciendo el chocho pesicola a esto también o cómo? Voy a subirlo por lo menos, ¿vale?
I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
No, esto es sobre la historia esta que... del arconte dentro que hizo que no lo demoliesen los ese, con la terremoto. Hola, marihuano. Hola.
He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Hola, Reynor. Todo esto es un pelín triste porque nada de esto lo ha hecho el señor o los señores estos de verdad. Esto es la arconte poseyendo a la gente esta y haciendo cosas buenas. O sea, es un poco triste porque se están llevando ahí todo el crédito y la pobre arconte ahí dice, bueno, yo es que soy la luna, ¿sabes, hermano? O sea, da un poquillo de penilla, ¿eh? O sea, hay ahí cierta cosa que pobrecilla. Bueno, venga. Ay, espero la noche siguiente. A las 19. Ay. O sea, ninguno de los que le están diciendo nada de esto, los guardianes de no sé qué cosa, ninguno de ellos es ningún protector de la ciudad. ¿Vale? ¿Qué pasa con la cafetería? De verdad, es una misión diaria, no para de decirme que vaya a la cafetería para hacer una misión diaria, qué pesado. Hola.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
No.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while.
Todos se lo toman como que es su abuelo de verdad.
He was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them.
A ver, hacen cosas muy raras, ¿no?
My wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. That might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you.
Porque se ha puesto a
Thank you
contarnos su
for
vida de
taking
pronto.
care of him.
Perdón, es que me saca un poquito
It
de...
was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Hace ya un tiempecico de todo esto, ¿no? O sea, rollo, hace
That's no
varios
good.
días.
Well,
O semanas,
once
o
you
lo que sea.
found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you.
Oh.
I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
¿Tú también vas a ser mi abuelo?
Okay, thank you, sir.
¿Qué sucede, Cino? ¿Está con su detector de mentiras ahí alerta o cómo?
Don't say anything for now.
Ha notado algo con sus antenas parabólicas esas que tiene por abajo.
Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Vale. Vamos a cambiar de tema así, sin más. Uy, qué raro. Qué situación más rara. Perdón.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land.
Yo nunca he visto una conversación tan falsa, ¿eh? Nunca.
Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon.
No, a ver.
What's your proof?
Que venga, no
Haven't
pasa
you
nada, ¿no?
noticed?
O sea,
The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever.
¿Y?
Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
¿Por qué Cino ha escuchado esto desde a tomar por culo mientras hablábamos con otro? O sea, el plot twist ha sido que se lo ha escuchado, ¿no? A lo random.
Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally
Tiene
going to
sentido,
take a
dice.
turn for the better?
Algo que no tiene sentido.
Exactly.
Pues bueno, pues vale.
Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Cino, recuerda que te han despedido, ¿vale?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Se ha enfadado. No, pero en serio, Cino, no estás trabajando. Mejor que no hagas cosas raras, ¿vale?
Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move and he's gonna flay us alive.
Sí, es verdad, me han dicho que los ojos de Cino son diferentes a los del resto. No sé muy bien por qué. Pero, o sea, son como de gato.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Son como una
Tell
gatica.
me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Vale, pero ¿quién lo ha dicho? O sea, un rumor así a lo random, ¿quién lo ha dicho? ¿Quién lo ha esparcido?
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia.
A ver, los exilian aquí cuando se vuelven locos. Es normal que no tengan muchas ganas de...
Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace. Just as
Todos,
the rumors say.
todos, ha dicho, ¿eh?
Please, don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
Ah, bueno, pues nos los matamos a todos, ¿no?
People here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Creo que lo que odian sobre todas las cosas es la academia, que en este caso no viene mal en cuanto a lo que queremos nosotros, supongo.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
Pues eso es
I
información
have
valiosa.
many ways to stop you from talking, and many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, yes, got it.
Vale, a esto sé casi quién se lo decía. Más cosas del tráiler, ¿vale?
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
Tenemos suerte de no ser sus enemigos. Pero somos sus amigos. Parte importante.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
Yo de lo que estoy sorprendido es que realmente no han mandado ninguna amenaza hasta el final del todo, ¿eh? O sea, ha dicho que si no me hacéis caso y os vais a vuestra puta casa, pues os voy a reventar el culo, ¿no? Pero antes, mientras los estaba interrogando, no ha dicho nada. No ha dicho hablad o os mato o hablad o os clavo una pica en los cojones, ¿vale? No ha dicho nada, no ha habido ninguna amenaza en esa parte, ¿eh? Solo ha mirado muy despectivamente y ya está, rollo, muy cabreado. ¿Sabéis, no? Ese tipo de cabreo de gato. Pues eso. Más razón todavía para ponernos de su parte.
I heard that.
Y lo he dicho para que lo oigas. Perdón.
It's part of being a Matra.
Vale, que es un matra. Es
The
un poli.
rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places.
Una cosa, ¿sigue siendo un matra a pesar de estar exiliado? O igual me estoy confundiendo yo con algo, porque está exiliado, ¿vale? No debería poder trabajar. Vale que tenga fuerza y pueda asestar su autoridad como persona individual y tal, lo que tú quieras, pero eso sigue siendo bastante feo, ¿vale? Rollo, es un abuso de poder y deslicencia a la autoridad, no sé muy bien cómo se dice, ¿vale? Si vamos a la casa de esos eruditos, que encontremos alguna pista allí.
Very well.
Venga. Los eruditos tienen casa, duermen en la calle.
I'm here.
Hola.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Tiene casa.
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Ah, pues tiene casa. Eso es un buen avance. Venga. Va a ser esta. Tampoco echa polvo, ¿eh?
Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other
pues no.
times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers.
Oh.
Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him.
Normal.
But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Recordemos que sigue siendo la arconte la que ha hablado con Isaac, siendo su abuelo amable.
Well, this is where grandpa usually stays. There sure isn't much here.
Ese olor... Fino, ¿notas ese olor a incienso?
No.
No lo nota. Tiene mal olfato.
Please don't say it's the same one as before.
¿Quién? No sé, no puede ser otro.
Are you okay? Are you getting
¡Hostia, escaramucha!
need to lie down?
Escaramucha,
There's
puede
a
ser
scent that you
escaramucha.
can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully,
Ah,
it's
no.
and then he gave us a long
No,
lecture
es
to
el...
explain all about how it works.
Son las drogas de
No
erudito.
Tainari.
Son las drogas de erudito. Está hablando de cuando entramos en la cueva de la loca aquella, que no me acuerdo cómo se llama. Cuando entramos en la cueva de la loca aquella nos metió un zambombazo drogadíctico, ¿vale? Muy fuerte.
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
A ver, mira sus orejas.
Yes.
Ah, ha dicho sí.
Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Un poco boca chancla eres igual,
Surely
¿eh?
Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No, no need.
No me llevo bien con este olor, vaya.
Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
No, fue en un bosque donde una erudita estaba meditando, sí,
In
lo que yo
the
digo.
forest. From a scholar.
Sigamos buscando más pistas. No quiero separarme. Porque dice que nos separemos, no quiero que nos separemos. Busca pistas. Setas. Huellas. Se ven algo distintas. Se ven algo distintas porque están marcadas en la arena y rollo como si hubiesen pisado con 4 toneladas o algo así. Una cueva. Más setas. Creo que por aquí ya no, ¿eh? Creo que ya no. Creo que me ha salido un pelín del radio de acción. Anda, hola. Ah, son las mismas huellas de antes, perdón. Hola con Cino. Ah, tenía que llegar él, vale. Tenía que llegar Cino hasta las pruebas para poder irnos, ok.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
¿Drogas? ¿Es cristal?
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here.
Wow, es lo primero que he visto,
In the
bastante
size and
fácil.
shape. They belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
Quiero decir que alguien más estuvo aquí. A ver, ha tenido que estar aquí mucha gente, ¿no? Se ha habido... Esto es una ciudad, después de todo.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
Joder, bro.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
¿Para traerlo? Claro, es un drogadicto, las drogas, claro, perdón, es que no lo había carburado de esa forma, tiene sentido.
So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
Caes en ese truco todo el tiempo, Paimon.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food?
Pues eso, ¿qué hay de malo en disfrutar de buenas drogas? ¿No? O sea, hay que... Paimon, sé consistente con lo que dices. ¿Qué hay de malo en saborear, oler o disfrutar de buenas drogas, no? Pues ya está.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So someone's taking advantage of
Lo han
their
secuestrado,
weakness?
¿no?
Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Por la razón de... Vamos a decir que lo han sacrificado para la resurrección del Rey Deshret delante del niño. No, no, no somos tan hijos de puta, ¿verdad?
Are the rumors really true?
Es lo único que sabemos. Vale, no lo hemos
Disappearance
mencionado.
of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong.
A ver, se ha metido erudito, ¿vale? Eso ya tiene alguna
Sounds
cosa.
like we better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Ahí, ahí, siempre metiéndome en
Let's head
fregados.
to Aru village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the scholars.
Venga. TP. La verdad es que... Un momento. Vale, no voy a tepearme. No, porque es que tendría que escalar desde la parte de abajo y no me apetece especialmente. Así que mejor así, ¿vale? Oye, un hidrócolo. Anda. Creo que me han hecho un spoiler de...
The darker
¿De qué va
fat
esto?
definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice too.
Sí. Me han dicho que están hablando de ropa.
Got a lot to tell you.
Ah, Welcome back.
Hola.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Bueno,
Oh, Dia's here too.
hemos perdido el rastro del abuelo.
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
Se quedó en el bar, ¿no?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own. Did you find out anything useful?
Que los radicales han secuestrado a eruditos mal de la cabeza, eso.
So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
¿Cuánta ambulancia? Vienen a por mí.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for
Es la policía, escondan el
If it
dentro.
was any
¿Qué?
other day,
Ah,
that
claro,
would be your
coño,
next
perdón.
logical step.
Se me ha ido.
But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these
A ver, de este
radicals you
grupo creo que
mentioned.
ninguno de ellos traería dentro. Cuidado,
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
¿Lo han dicho en algún momento esto?
Yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook.
Jabari me
A whole
suena,
lot
pero el
of them are known
resto...
around these parts.
¿Dónde he escuchado esos nombres antes? Yo no solo he escuchado Jibari, creo, y creo
These
que es muy
guys
de
have
oído.
one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia.
Nos espían.
Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia, you're amazing! You really know this place inside and out.
La verdad es que no tiene nada de sentido que tenga tanta información de esto y que al mismo tiempo no supiese nada sobre la resurrección del Rey Escarlata. Porque es que ha sido literalmente la primera frase que ha dicho, ¿eh? La resurrección del Rey Escarlata, no he oído hablar nada sobre eso. Vale. Ok. Vale, le está diciendo que hay algo con los ojos.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Hay que hacer como que no nos hemos dado
Let's head
cuenta.
out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Porque igual mata al que nos está persiguiendo.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out.
Sí.
The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust.
Su capacidad de lucha no es digna de mención. Lo que acabo de decir lo ha dicho en serio.
I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The traveler
Igual
and
para una
Paimon will go
mercenaria
to
está en la
caravan
media o
Rebat
algo.
with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Bueno, entonces ¿vamos a bajar por este o cómo? Se quedan aquí hablando. Hola.
Sino,
Uy.
please don't take offense. I'm sure Dia just wants to help everyone solve their problem as quickly as possible.
Se escucha como
That's why she can be so straightforward at times.
raro, ¿no? La
I don't mind.
voz de
I see.
Candace.
Well, from the way you were staring out into the distance, I thought you might have been mulling over Dia's words.
No, I'm used to being treated that way. It's natural to fear strength. I take no objection to it.
Vale. A ver, yo no estaría pendiente de sus palabras, sino de sus gestos. ¿No he visto cómo se le movían los ojos hacia los lados? Buscando el señor ese que se escondía detrás de una caja. Ay, bueno.
Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel.
A mí no me parece especialmente importante. Debería impresionarme.
It's almost unreal.
Igual es una
I know what you
ilusión.
mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
No me lo parece. Veo la arena pasar por aquí, pero bueno.
It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim.
A ver, el tema este de que seáis todos mercenarios lo define un poco. ¿Es eso racista? No estoy seguro.
The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Bueno, pero entonces la tormenta de arena mal, ¿no? O sea, no vale para mucho. Entonces, ¿cómo se siente? Espero que no cometa una locura aquí. Pero cómo se siente, tampoco. A ver, solo se está cabreando pensando en ello, tampoco para tanto.
Not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh.
Estamos siendo cebo, así no funcionan las cosas.
Crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Uy, me he caído, perdón.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Ay, hola, es un placer.
Hello, hello.
Parece un borracho.
I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle.
Sigo sin entender muy bien qué es lo que intenta conseguir de este.
Yes, how
O
considerate.
sea, entiendo que queremos contacto con
Delavar's my friend
con
too, so
uno de los
of course I can
bandidos,
take
eso.
you to him.
Y tal,
Come
pero
with me.
un poco más. Creo que no voy bien desde aquí. A ver, un momento. Ay, perdón. Creo que sí voy bastante lejos desde aquí, pero bueno, no pasa nada. Vale. Se supone que por aquí tendría que estar el mercenario este de toca pelota.
Are we there yet?
Me van a emboscar, ¿verdad? Se lo han olido ya como a muchos kilómetros.
Yep, this is the place.
Me van a emboscar, seguro.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like
A ver,
this?
creo que todo el desierto es un desierto. Bueno, está desierto. Nos estamos metiendo con su zona de trabajo.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Que se supone que tengo que sorprenderme. ¡Oh, wow! No me lo esperaba. No sé, no sé.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one
No ha
of us.
colado. ¿Quién me lo iba a decir?
And Engar, you're here too, huh?
No, es que nada de esto me está sorprendiendo, así que no
Long time
sé.
no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Z, 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 Z.
I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
A ver, sí, estaría bien si no estuviese muerto. O sea, a mí me da igual quién gane, ¿eh? A mí el Arconte me importa una mierda, igual que el Scarlet King este.
All because of some baseless rumors? Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong.
Sí, ahí,
Mercenaries
insultando,
are
seguro que
driven by
llegamos a algún
Mora,
acuerdo.
And my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Venga, gente que va a morir.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Vale. Yo estoy esperando desde hace un rato largo, o sea, todo esto están dando vueltas para nada, ¿eh? Yo qué sé, he venido aquí a probar a Fino principalmente, ¿no? Pero bueno, ahora mismo va a hacer poquita cosa, está al 50, ¿vale?
Your sins weigh upon your soul. Your penance is due.
Vale. Estoy casi timeando bien esto para que me salga con los ojicos estos naranjas, casi perfecto, ¿no? Básicamente es porque sale cuando cuando tienes la E cargada, o sea, es el mismo tiempo, así que es fácil timearlo, pero...
Impossible! How could you? So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a
Cuando
traveling
pase algo
mercenary
impredecible
like
me
me to
habláis,
be out of
¿vale?
the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct?
Ah, eso sí se lo ha creído.
That is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Y matar a estos no va a hacerlo contraproducente todo. Y los nombres que mencionaste.
Oh, you mean the funny names she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
Gilipollas.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed
Ah, por eso me sonaba uno de ellos, porque habría hablado con él, ¿no?
came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
Entonces, ¿quién es el villano con la barba de chivo? Es el alacena.
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No se notaba.
No, he isn't.
Oh,
I just needed to tack
encima
on a
me he
random
confundido.
villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea!
La verdad es que a mí me parece un pelín rebuscado para lo que has conseguido, pero bueno, vale.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Creo que eso lo demostró lo contrario en la anterior misión, ¿eh? Pero vale, ok.
What makes you so sure?
Aquí no te ha contratado nadie, pero nos ha ayudado. Y bueno, que vendió sus cosas para ayudar a su colega, ¿no? O sea...
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King,
Al final los
making the
listos siempre
Dendro
tienen la
Archon out to
culpa.
be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Vale. ¿Se supone que lo vamos a interrogar o algo? Simplemente vamos a hacer que dejen de dar por culo durante un rato.
This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Se escucha muy mal la voz de Candace, no sé qué le pasa, se escucha horrible.
Candace will be
Como
okay on
súper
her own.
robótica o algo.
I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
Con Candace hay que tener cuidado porque tiene mucha influencia y he visto una cosa de su título que descuadra un poco.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler.
De acuerdo.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Lo de Candace, si venimos por aquí, aquí está. Quimeras, ilusiones y engaños. O sea, rollo, esto es como parte de su título, ¿no? O sea, es parte del título de la misión de Candace. Bueno, esta es parte de la misión de Candace, ¿no? Y yo qué sé. Igual ella es parte de lo que nos engaña. Vamos a pegar una pausa aquí, ¿vale? Y seguimos luego. Vale, pero perdón, continuamos, que es que he tenido que hacer cosas, ¿vale? Y se me ha jodido un poco el ponerme a hacer la historia ahora, ¿no? Vamos a continuar directamente, tenemos que esperar. Hasta las 6 ponía. ¿Por la mañanita? ¿Tempranito? A las 6 da mucho coñazo levantarse, pero bueno, parece ser que es el horario normal de Teyvat. Que eso está bien, ¿vale? Está. Uy, sigo en multijugador. Vale, no. ¿Qué tal? Ya ves, Casi parece que pudiera controlar el tiempo o algo.
We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she
Yo no me fío de ella.
is, shoulder that
No me
kind
fío.
of responsibility.
No me fío. No me fío. No me fío.
Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Oh.
Really? Thanks for that.
Se quedó hablando este con Candace, ¿no?
And he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Matar gente.
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh. Más o menos, sí.
You mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Porque dicen las cosas tan así. Luego al final es una tontería.
Come on, let's go inside.
Si al final lo único que hace para interrogar a la gente es mirarles muy fijamente, con mucha rabia. O sea, no. O sea, bueno, vale, ok. No le hace falta hacer mucho para poder interrogar a alguien.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Pues eso es lo que yo he dicho.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
A ver, ¿qué me vas a decir?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well,
Les ha golpeado.
Sino taught her well.
Oh, qué pena, les ha golpeado. Candace aprende rápido. Ahora Candace da tanto miedo como él. Candace
You
aprende
fear
rápido.
death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
A ver, empezad por
We
ponerle
may both
soluciones,
be
¿no?
desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The
Díselo,
people of
reina.
Aru
No
village
sé.
care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry.
A ver, claramente no están
I'll tell you everything
entendiéndolo.
I know. Please, just
Entendiéndolo.
let us go.
Eso es, es que solo
I'm
quieren
listening.
marcharse. Solo quiere que les
You
dejen
might
de
not
pegar.
believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
Ah, lol,
They're
que eso era
called
cierto, vale,
village
ok.
keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
No están los guardianes del ahora mismo.
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Joder. Bueno.
I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
El detector de mentiras no miente.
With some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear.
Entonces sí que sabes por dónde están.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
La última ha sido verdad. Pero bueno, es que la última esconde la otra parte. ¿No tenían alguna idea de la identidad de ese hombre misterioso?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way.
Están muy bien, rollo, no les ha pegado en la cara.
And he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Uy.
Smooth.
Strike.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct,
Era solo para que no le
this
escuchase, qué
mystery
triste.
man they speak of could be from the academia. Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused.
Está sospechando ahora de Alacén.
insisting
Creo que está
that they
sospechando
are
un poco de
part of
Alacén.
our community.
No se le ha visto el pelo
It strikes
todavía.
me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back. We aren't gonna let that happen.
A ver, la gracia de sacarlos de... Bueno, de exiliarlos es que no los tienes en consideración, rollo. La academia por sí sola no los presenta como personas, ¿no? O sea, los han exiliado aquí para que no sean personas reales, personas que necesitan de un tipo de cuidado como ciudadano o lo que sea, ¿no? Que al final la academia se encarga de todo. O sea que el traerlos aquí es precisamente para poder usarlos para experimentos, ¿no? Es lo que está queriendo decir. La resolución es una campaña de desinformación de la academia.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
¿Drogas?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in
Por si
their
acaso la
plans
pregunta, o
likely
sea, la
means they
respuesta
found
siempre son
another way
drogas.
to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Venga.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Venga. Pues ya tenemos todos plan, ¿no? ¿Dónde está la Zen? Creo que es algo importante saber dónde está la Zen, ¿no? A ver.
What scheme is the academia brewing now?
You look worried. Thinking about the village keepers?
Yes. I'd look for them myself if I could. As members of our village, each one of them is very important to me.
You have a strong sense of belonging here. I guess I'm the opposite. Mercs are stray dogs, wherever they go.
Dia, don't say that. You can be a part of this community too.
Todo lo que dice de ella es un poco mentira, ¿no?
I'll let you know when I
O
feel
sea,
like
es un poco tsundere. Es eso lo que me estás queriendo decir, porque es que dice todo el rato lo mismo de no... ella es mala gente. Yo soy mala gente, yo soy mala gente, yo soy mala gente. Ay, no puedo hablar con ella. A ver, estos de aquí no lo están. Perdón, macho. Estos aquí muertos. Espero que estén bien. Se nos los ha cargado, ¿vale? No era un tercer strike. Venga. Mira. Hola. No se movió de aquí, me va a decir, ¿no?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus
Ha
far.
estado poniendo la oreja escuchando la conversación. Ha estado 2 días fuera, tampoco... Bueno, tampoco creo que haya sido más, por lo menos.
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Adelante, no te voy a detener. O sea, estoy tan cansado como ella.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing.
Paimon, alacén, almacén. Tampoco es para tanto. El almacén este de aquí. Es que tampoco es tan difícil.
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well,
Captain Obvious, supongo.
you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Sí. Algo así.
We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere.
Sabes por dónde empezar, ¿verdad?
Enough with the silent treatment!
Nos estás dando tiempo para pensar.
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Con Cino.
Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Ahí te ha pillado, ¿eh? A ver, claramente el Alheizem es un poco apático en general, rollo, con cualquier persona. No parece que le interese mucho nada de lo que... Bueno, de lo que está ocurriendo con los eruditos mal de la cabeza y demás, ¿eh? O sea, parece que literalmente le importa una mierda. Tiene razón.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Vale, ¿me vas a contar de qué iba?
Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts.
Entonces, ¿por qué te quejas de que me haya unido a
Not to
un
mention that
equipo?
going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
¿Y me la vas a contar?
Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
Sí, es una pregunta
How do you
importante.
think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing?
No sé. Normal. A ver, no, claro, si la mayoría son radicales, supongo que no les gusta especialmente que traiga a los exiliados de vuelta, ¿no?
In other words, Do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
No, he estado desconfiando de ellos desde que vine, pero es que no han dicho nada importante tampoco.
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
Esto es lo que digo, siempre ocurre de la misma manera, no para compartir lo que saben con nosotros, pero vamos, que eso también se aplica a lo que son ellos, ¿vale? Información sobre su propia persona, ¿vale? Entonces encontraremos más información preguntando a quien ya conocemos.
Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived.
La que estaba mega
The
nerviosa.
reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
Sí.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
A ver, desde mi punto de vista, yo no lo vi así. O sea, yo lo que vi fue que la historia que se ha contado de que un señor de estos, de que un guardián de la ciudad esta, ha protegido las casas de todos con sus poderes dentro, creando raíces, como no sé qué. Y la suya también está en pie, por lo tanto, es que se hubiese derrumbado hace mucho tiempo. O sea, yo lo tomé como que estaba formando parte de todos los demás, porque había mucha más gente que se había afectado por esto de que no se le ha caído la casa después de un terremoto, ¿no? No lo estaba tomando como que quería decir que me estaba mintiendo, mientras que... o sea, sí estaba despierta mientras que decía que no.
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
Voy a ponerme a Fino. Venga. Paimon es mucho más amigable, supongo, ¿no? ¿Era por aquí? Ahí en su casa, ¿vale?
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
No vamos a poder usar la autoridad de que Paimon es una niña pequeñita, ¿no?
Go on. Earn her trust.
Vale.
Is it really that simple?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
May I call you Traveler?
Sí, no, está bien. Claro, hola, Shami.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something.
Dime.
Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
No me dejan elegir a mí, vale. No,
Why is that?
porque solo traerá conflictos.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
No puedo prometerlo, pero haré lo mejor que pueda.
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
¿Tú has convencido ya con eso?
I want to trust you.
Oh.
My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
No tienes por qué estar de parte de ninguna deidad para poder vivir con otra gente. O sea, los del Rey Escarlata puedo entender que te dé un poco más de cosas, porque es que son muy radicales, ¿vale? Con lo que hacen, ¿vale? No es simplemente un... Sí, a mí el Rey Escarlata me cae bien, buena onda y tal. Ahí seguro que se pone ahí a hacer casa y campo y no sé qué. O sea, eso puedo entenderlo. Pero la Arconte Dendro, o sea, es que ni siquiera la conoce nadie. O sea, para la mitad de los de aquí no existe. Bueno, la mitad. Me he ido un poco a la baja, además. O sea... Bien podrías pasar del tema y decir, no sé nada del Arconte. Y ya está. Pues no...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Sí.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
¿Qué has visto?
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
O gente llorando, ¿has pensado en eso?
I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
¿Sabes de dónde vienen los sonidos?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Tenemos que ir a ver ese hospital.
Yeah, let's go.
Igual Dottore se ha dejado algo o algo así, no sé. Vale. Hospital. He pasado antes por ahí. Porque es uno de los pocos sitios donde hay escarabajos por aquí. Ay, Dios, es horrible coger escarabajos. Lo estoy pasando horrible buscando escarabajos, ¿eh? No, lo he pasado, que es que no me he puesto a buscar más. Vale.
Is this the place? It's in terrible shape. Monsters, watch out!
¡Oh, no! Giritrulls. Claro, como siempre han sido un problema tan grande.
Judgment is upon you. Your penance is due.
Vale.
You stay condemned.
Lo he hecho demasiado pronto.
Guilty. Your penance is due.
Lo he hecho justo al momento en el que me da... Bueno, en fin. ¿Dónde está el que falta? Ah. Ya está. Ah, no. Oh, vente.
Germinate. Through me, justice is served.
Vale. A ver, sé que igual no debería usar a un personaje nivel 50 como main DPS durante las misiones, ¿vale? Yo pillo que igual no es mi mejor idea. Pero bueno, de vez en cuando hay que pasárselo bien también, ¿no? Ahí está. LOL. Te lo has pasado bien, Heizem. ¿Qué esperaba?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that. He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
Antes cuando venía no recordaba ver ningún tótem de esto, pero igual es que estaba bloqueado.
Let's go in and take a look.
Venga. Hay que buscar trampillas, Paimon. Siempre
Shawnee says
trampillas.
she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
Vale. Te sigo.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read?
Siempre hay que tener entretenimiento, ¿no? Puede verlo. Nos va a leer la historieta.
Sure.
The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion, in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
So, you got that?
Vale, está queriendo decir que cuando no se altera cuando no se altera la energía de algo, bueno, en este caso de un objeto de movimiento, el objeto de movimiento se mueve de forma natural, a como quiere el mismo objeto, es lo que ha dicho.
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
Oh. Me imagino que esto se puede aplicar a personas, que es por lo que está yendo.
Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place
Vamos,
like this.
tampoco es para tanto, deberías leer algún libro de vez en cuando, sí.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already.
Bueno, a ver...
And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
De acuerdo, Paimon es la mejor, venga. ¿Se ha hecho de noche de repente? ¿O esto es una transición de que ha pasado tiempo? Es que veo como una cosa roja.
getting so sleepy.
¡Oh, no!
What was that sound?
Yo no he escuchado nada.
There it is.
No sé.
It's coming from that direction.
Se supone que tengo que estar escuchando algo. No veo ninguna... No escucho nada.
From here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
¡Oh! Ahora sí lo oigo. Están llorando.
It's from below.
Ah, no han visto esta trampilla antes.
There's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
No puede ser verdad. Es que... Es algún tipo de broma todo esto. Se supone que tengo que creerme que no han visto esa trampilla.
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Or looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Cada vez que Paimon abre la boca durante una misión es para hacerme sentir muy tonto, ¿eh? O sea, pero muy tonto. ¿Y por qué me ha vuelto arriba? Llave antigua para la visita de noche. Hay dos cosas brillando, ¿eh? O es simplemente que el brillador ocupa mucho espacio, ¿no? Vale. Monumentos elementales. Ese es uno. Allí hay otro. Uy. Ups. Vale, alguno más, alguno más, alguno más. Debería haber 3 en total.
Like a lamb to the slaughter. Spring forth! Judgment is upon you. Guilty!
Uy. No veo muy bien dónde deberían estar las cosas. Están como enterrados o algo, porque no... O sea, me ha alejado bastante de... Me ha alejado bastante de la zona, ¿eh? Debería ponerme algún personaje que quite algo, ¿eh? Es que quito muy poco. O sea, no me entendáis mal, ¿eh? Cino ha quitado un putísimo huevo para el nivel que está. Pero aún para el nivel que está, bueno, pues es poco, ¿vale? Nivel que está, bueno, los artefactos que tiene y demás, ¿eh? Está quitando muchísimo. ¿Está dentro? No. A ver, nada me marca que estuviese ahí, pero es que pensaba que estaría como en un... Ah, mira, ahí arriba. Tengo que acercarme para liberarlos. Piu, piu. No me... Ah, vale, lo he activado ya, perdón. Vale, el último está por aquí, ¿verdad? He visto algo bloqueado en la distancia. No, está que no lo veo. Ahí. Sí, es que quito muy poco en comparación. Vale. Con como está ahora mismo ya está quitando más que mi Razor, por lo menos de eléctrico, ¿vale? O sea... Vamos a ir. Vale, y antes de continuar vamos a cambiar de personaje, ¿vale? Quiero seguir llevando a Cino, ¿vale? O sea, me parece que estoy haciendo bien en llevarlo. Pero no me interesa llevar a un anemo... A un anemo de 4 estrellas, ¿vale? Que por muy DPS que sea, sigue siendo un anemo de 4 estrellas, ¿vale? Vale. Uy, Diluc está como un poco muerto, ¿no? Voy a ponerme la lonchera ya que estoy, así. Vale. No he conseguido ninguna llave, ¿eh? O sea, solo he conseguido lo de los tótems, a ver si esto me libera cosas. Pero las llaves tienen que estar por aquí dentro, ¿eh? Aviso de urgencia. Paciente Abbas, varón, 23 años. Tiene un lunar... No me deja... Ay, mierda, automático. Será difícil que sobreviva sin atención médica profesional. La probabilidad de sufrir del paciente se debe informar inmediatamente en cuanto se conozca. No te rindas, sé optimista. Todos los seres vivos se encuentran bajo protección divina, no deben de rendirse. Vale. Comidas de esta semana. Seguir una dieta equilibrada, descansar con regularidad y mantener el buen humor. Sopa de mente y frijoles. Tachín. Camarones al curry. Panipurri. Ensalada no sé qué, no sé cuánto. Es literalmente la comida. El resto está en blanco. No llegaron al miércoles. En caso de emergencia, contactar inmediatamente al médico de turno. Lunes, Ibrahim. Martes, va a ser doctor. No sé. A Moody. El resto está en blanco. Igual que esto solo funciona los 3 días primeros de la semana. Al mirar a través de la boca del recipiente parece haber unos tallos del interior. Seguro está para poner flores. Las palabras para Bean marcadas en el fondo del florero parece que fue un regalo para alguien con ese nombre. ¡Oh! Hay que tener cuidado. Este es un... El que está llorando. Podría ser Ibrahim o el otro. Creo que no sé el nombre. Hola.
You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather.
Parece que lo he reconocido a este, ¿eh?
Why is he the only one here?
Recordemos que es de la academia, igual los conoce.
Didn't expect to see him here.
¿Quién es?
Know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
Sí.
No. And that's the problem.
Ah.
Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
Esto porque está así. Igual tomó una semilla de sabiduría de estas chulas.
Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him.
O sea que sabían que íbamos a venir.
There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Con personas.
With people?
Puede ser.
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught.
Escucharon rumores de nosotros, ¿no?
In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner.
No me parece que eso sea una esquina, ¿eh? Pero bueno.
The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Sí, el de la semilla. Ahí está. Pero hay más de una, es lo que está queriendo decir. Es el tipo de los eremitas que se volvió loco.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers.
Y ellos se lavan las
Life for the
manos,
desert
bueno,
dwellers has been
con las
brutal ever since
conclusiones.
the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
A ver, viendo que ya odian a la academia, pues lo veo normal. No era especialmente difícil empujarles un poquito.
Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics.
Sí, lo que dije antes.
After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
Ya veo. Ya, o sea, es una forma más paulatina de hacerlo, pero básicamente dejan de ser ciudadanos normales.
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
¿Acaso no has notado que esto es un hospital?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
No es una lobotomía, o sea, es conocimiento, o sea, más elemental que eso, pero bueno, ¿cómo conoces ese tipo de tecnología?
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
Que esté conectado con el Akasha, ¿no? No, no es posible. La mayoría de los eruditos que se han vuelto locos han estado en contacto con la consciencia divina dentro del bosque. Eso es lo que busca la academia. O sea, están buscando el rojo, ¿no? Incluso se puede decir que estos conocimientos están relacionados con los Fatui, con Dottore y Escaramucha. Los están usando para convertir a Escaramucha en un dios. Están usando los conocimientos para convertir a Escaramucha en un dios. Claro, no le podemos decir a él nada sobre Escaramucha. Vale, la academia necesita personas que hayan contactado con la consciencia divina.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal?
Crear un
I've
dios.
spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
Ha estado estudiando el conocimiento divino.
Slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really
Vale, ponte a
against
hacerlo
all
si
this.
puedes.
Of course. The academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those?
No me parece que este señor pueda sentir
Not to be
simpatía,
callous,
¿eh?
but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Sí.
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
Ay, tus intenciones son más específicas y personales. A ver, claramente ya estamos intentando salvar a todo el mundo. No sé si lo habéis notado. O sea, estamos... Cada lugar al que vamos tratamos de salvar a todo el mundo sin discreción ninguna. Así que, no sé, no me parece que haya otra respuesta que no sea así.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want.
Vale,
The
pero ¿con qué
divine knowledge
objetivo?
capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Puede que rechace la idea de una mayor responsabilidad moral, pero justifica sus acciones porque son fieles a motivaciones personales. No me parece que rechace la idea de una mayor responsabilidad moral. Creo que es que no siente una responsabilidad moral. O que intenta pensar que no tiene ninguna responsabilidad moral. O sea que luego sus actos no colindan muy bien con lo que hace, ¿vale? O sea, con lo que dice, perdón. Pero está ahí. Quizás alguien así sería un mejor aliado.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
Sí, esta es la frase más coherente que ha dicho.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out.
No funciona
Uniqueness
eso
is
así.
also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
¿Qué es
I'm
esto?
just a more likable person than her in general.
Joder. A ver. Perdón. Bueno, ¿qué hacemos con esta persona? No vamos a mencionar nada al respecto. Y luego el de los chistes es Tino, ¿eh? Joder. Estamos ahí al nivel. Está fuerte, ¿eh? Ha puesto el nivel alto, ¿eh? Ha puesto... Es a la casa del jefe de la aldea ahora para encontrar con los demás. Uy. ¿Una llave? La llave antigua, vale. No hay nada más. Uf, hay muchas notas, ¿no? Abin. Uy. Hakim. Todos van a ser nombres típicos árabes, ¿no? Para Abin. Y todo esto ya... O sea, los que no había leído eran los del fondo, ¿vale? Nada, vámonos para arriba. Que tengo una llave que usar. Vamos se pregunta qué tipo de tesoros encontraremos aquí. Pasean la vista por los títulos, pero parece que no hay nada más que registros e historias médicos. Tirar los cajones decepcionados. Pero hemos pensado que habría algo interesante por aquí. Incluso los barriles de las cajas contienen cosas más fascinantes que... Uy, ¿qué es esto? Se ha caído. Que vamos, lo vea. Parece la pista de un tesoro. Uf. ¿What? No me parece la pista de un tesoro, me parece un registro médico. Historial médico, eso. Eso del alazar suena aterrador, no voy a leerlo, ¿vale? O sea, ahora mismo no es el momento. Creo que esto es una misión secundaria, ¿eh? ¿Y qué pone en este documento? Informe de diagnóstico. La voz divina me guía. Es posible que la voz divina que describa tenga algo que ver con los fenómenos de resonancia en la estructura topográfica interna de las dunas. Vale, quiere decir que las cuevas de las dunas resuenan. Vale. Segunda fase del experimento. Son literalmente... Esto es literalmente el experimento que estaban llevando a cabo, pero por completo, ¿eh? Uno de los sujetos es un dios, ¿eh? O sea, es escaramucha, perdón. Hablan de él como que podría llegar al nivel de un dios, como le gusta decir al sujeto. No sé quiénes son los sujetos 2 y 3, ¿eh? Vale, no voy a ponerme esto. No entiende ni papa, yo tampoco lo entiendo. Quizás sea mejor que no lo entiendas. ¿Eh? ¿Tú sí lo comprendes? El único que Paimon entiende es eso de la voz de Divina me guía. ¿Crees que las voces misteriosas guían a la gente? Podrían ser fuentes de actividad subterránea o actividad de criaturas. Ah, así es, quién sabe. Podría haber ruinas subterráneas, es lo que he pensado. Estamos atentos a cualquier sonido. Venga, va. Antes de que yo naciera. Vale. Bueno, básicamente estaban haciendo experimentos con la voz divina o no sé qué mierda. Y parece ser que el uso de las cápsulas divinas estas proporciona bueno, el poder de un dios, poder llegar hasta el poder de un dios o algo así. Es un poco cogido por los pelos, la verdad. Vale, malas noticias. Y buenas noticias. Hemos salvado a uno, ¿no? Aunque sea malo, probablemente. No, se ha calmado.
What's the situation?
¿No ves que tengo un señor nuevo detrás de mí?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
Es probable que este sea uno de los malos. Lo único que haya tenido mucha curiosidad, pero poco más.
The abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst.
Ha mirado inmediatamente a la CN, ¿eh? Yo no me fío de Candace, ¿eh? No me fío una mierda de Candace.
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue.
Has descubierto algo.
Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole.
Creo que no es tan simple como que simplemente está dando
And here I
información,
thought
¿eh?
you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you?
No está diciendo que sea un infiltrado, que es lo que Candace ha intentado meter ahí porque le ha venido la virgulilla. Que eso de hablar de que tenemos un infiltrado entre nosotros es la peor idea que puedas tener y viene bastante sorprendente que lo diga la jefa de la aldea. Pero bueno, en fin. Lo que está diciendo no es que sea un infiltrado. Lo que está diciendo es que como su presencia aquí o sea, recae en que lo tengan vigilado, en que cada movimiento que toma está observado, básicamente.
If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
No consideras que esta situación es muy importante.
The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
No, para eso necesitamos una variable disruptiva como es el Traveler, ¿vale? Para que esto no funcione bien.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the
¿Por qué se escucha tan mal la voz de Candace, rollo? La voz está bien, pero el audio... Ah, no lo entiendo. Me pone muy nervioso.
Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
Exacto. Alheizen va a decir algo en cuanto yo diga esto.
I have an idea.
Ish, mierda.
If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
Donde ha estado, no donde va a estar.
Yep, that's right.
Vale, pues ¿para dónde? Te has vuelto más inteligente, Paimon. Yo no lo he entendido, así que supongo que sí. Ahora me siento tonto.
I must go. There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Venga.
Please, wait! I want to go too!
Dios, qué malísima idea.
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
¿Qué cojones dice Candace, por Dios?
I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Esas palabras viniendo de un niño nunca funcionan. Esas palabras en general nunca funcionan. Cuenta con... O sea, que encima además nos carga el muerto a nosotros. Acepta ella, pero nos carga el muerto a nosotros. Candace, ¿qué cojones te pasa? Pensaba que era la protectora o no sé qué de mierda. De ella. Se ha pirado, creo. Alcanza así, ¿no? Vale. Debería ir andando, ¿verdad? Sí, debería ir andando. Voy a ponerme al señor que corre mucho. ¿Esta es la cueva que estuvimos investigando? En la que no vimos nada. Creo que sí. Solo que, bueno, sale desde el otro lado, ¿no? A ver. Hola, buenas.
So, where do we go from here?
¿Recuerdas que hiciste, qué recorrido hiciste?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
A ver, la cosa es que está bien que puedan predecir los movimientos de Cino. La cosa es que solo sería Cino solo.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
Ahora mismo Cino no está solo, sus acciones no están basadas solo en su propia opinión, están basadas en el equipo.
There's something here.
Esto es como lo que tiene Alhaitham.
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
No es momento de quejarse. Si igualmente no vas a acabar, ¿qué más da?
Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there, looks like it's buried really deep.
Uso a Nemo.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Con esto es con lo que le sacan la info. No tardaste mucho en desenterrar otro instrumento.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
¿Cómo lo sabe?
How did it end up
Es un
buried
casco
in the
ya, parece.
sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
¿De ella? No es lo único que se me ocurre.
I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Rizak didn't display
Con ello
any
digo
signs of
mercenarios en
starvation or
general,
dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Cuando estaba Candace luchando contra los perros del abismo. Estoy de acuerdo.
Let's keep going.
Entonces quizás son los del abismo los que están... Bueno, los que han atacado las cosas estas, los... El carro.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Preguntas importantes, ¿eh?
Of course it is.
Es como que se cansa por nada, ¿no? Por todo, mejor dicho.
Voices, over there.
Oh, se les ve. Se les ve de refilón ahí a la izquierda.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Ahí estaban.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Sí,
Diaz
mercenario.
talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
¿Veis lo que he dicho de que nunca va a crear problemas? Cuando dicen que no van a crear problemas, pues eso.
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
¿Qué tal si esperas a saber?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself, I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
¿Qué tal si me decís algo de lo que está pasando?
Swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
Bien.
Doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Es el jefe de los eremitas, de todos ellos.
We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the academia. With these scholars in our custody,
Todo esto queda muy gracioso cuando sabes que todo es parte de la misma academia.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata have to say?
A mí me cabía la otra, la pequeñita, no sé.
Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile.
Y lo dices tú precisamente.
Do you really
cállate.
believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia?
Lo sé.
These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage.
Ooh.
These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Eso es mentira.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Sí.
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
Sí, pero ninguna persona inteligente propondría esa idea.
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Ve a lo que me refiero con que sus acciones no calcan con lo que dice.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the academia's way of doing things?
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
Pero...
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm.
¿El derecho es el bueno o es el malo? Es que no estoy muy
Come on,
seguro.
Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest.
Es el bueno, vale.
But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. The mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
Yo quiero ver cómo se quita el brazo. A ver, no entendáis mal.
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
Se lo van a cortar.
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
A ver, un poquito. Bro, ¿por qué tiene tanto interés en su brazo? No va a poder cortárselo o algo así. La cara de paño, perdón.
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces?
¿Te das cuenta ahora de que no tiene ningún sentido?
Show me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Nos veremos en el desierto. Tomorrow. Sabía que iba a pasar, creo, O sea, no me puedo imaginar que hiciese eso de forma normal. O sea, que está bien que lo justifique con que son muchas vidas a cambio de un brazo, pero es que no es necesario para nada. Me parece la idea más tonta posible. Ahí está, vale. Es que no tiene ningún sentido. O sea, no tomo a Deya como gilipollas, ¿vale?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
Bueno, vale. No lo vas a asustar así. Harás que me preocupe por ti.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to
Una
seal the
limb.
deal, you know?
En fin.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
Hay que educarlos.
As you wish.
¿No? Creo.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened. I should have trusted you.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
Le está insultando.
The Eremites once said that I was
Scholar material.
a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself?
Porque es lo que hace siempre. Eres así. Sí, eres así. Creo que eso he estado diciendo la verdad.
Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
Vale. No sé muy bien qué es en lo que hemos quedado. ¿Cuáles son las probabilidades de éxito? Salta todo bien, hay tanta incertidumbre. No estoy seguro de cuál es nuestro objetivo. O sea, rollo, ¿quieren que intercambiemos de verdad a los eruditos por el colega Alacén? Es que es lo único que se me ocurre, es la única cosa en la que hemos dejado más o menos claro. Pero solo me han dicho que volvamos aquí mañana. Me imagino porque tienen que preparar a los eruditos o tal. O prepararnos una trampa, ¿vale? Que es lo más probable. Es lo primero más probable. Hola, buenas. ¿Ya estáis todos por aquí?
You're all here so early.
Looks Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
¿Por qué seguís dejando que el puto niño venga?
Distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood?
Como una madre. No, esas cosas hoy no, ¿eh?
Fine.
Le ha hecho caso así sin más. No sé, o sea, me parece un poco... ¿Por qué hablan de esto ahora, justo antes de irnos, en vez de mucho antes? Vale. He desbloqueado parte del mapa antes, así que... me hace más fácil el ir para acá. Igualmente iré cortando la travesía. Uy, qué chuli. Iré cortando la travesía para allá, ¿vale? Que es un trayecto muy largo. Y tengo que ir por el desierto, o sea que eso es como que todo junto es una muy mala combinación, ¿no? Así que bueno, venga, vamos a intentar ir para allá. Tengo el poder de la edición en tiempo real, lo que significa que puedo hacer... ¡Clac! Y de pronto estoy haciendo otra cosa completamente diferente, ¿vale? Así que eso es lo que estáis viendo que está ocurriendo. Uy, cuántas cosas. No sé si esta cosa cambia según la hora del día, pero mola mucho cuando se pone el cielo rojo, rojo, rojo. Perdón, ¿vale? Que no... O sea, a mí esto sí me diría que el rey... que el rey escarlata está a punto de renacer, ¿eh? Esto es la leche. A ver, lo más probable es que lo que hay ahí arriba sea un clavo, ¿vale? Un sky nail, un clavo divino. Uy, escarabajo. Está haciendo una bolica, ¿vale? Me da penica cuando están haciendo bolicas, pero es que me hacen falta, ¿vale? Que no son fáciles de pillar. Lo más probable es que ahí arriba haya un sky nail, es lo único que se me ocurre. Que pueda estar alterando el ecosistema de esta forma. Pero bueno, yo qué sé. No se puede confirmar todavía, ¿no? Vale. Se supone que estoy como súper mega cerca, pero no veo dónde hay eremitas por aquí. ¡Oh! Vale, esto será para después, ¿no? No tiene nada que ver con lo de ahora. Espero, si no. Es mío. Ah, mira, ahí están. Perdón, es que se me va. Eso parece de la academia. Academia. Ah, es un erudito a cambio de alacén. Eso es lo que van a intercambiar. No hace falta que lo digas en alto.
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Está el abuelo.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Rahman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you?
A ver, el valor es bastante
Let me put it
diferente.
this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my part. Don't you think you've asked enough?
You stay right there!
No hay trato. No dial. ¡Más tráiler! Está temblando, lol. Ah, terremoto. Terremoto. Eso no es un terremoto, ¿eh? Son arenas movedizas. O sea que hay una cueva justo aquí debajo. ¡Lol! Vale. El Dark Conte, pero joder. Cojones. Vale. Las arenas movedizas se crean cuando hay una cavidad en... Uy. ¿Cuánto eco? Perdón, es que he subido volumen porque había una escena, ¿vale? Las arenas movedizas se crean cuando hay una cavidad con aire bueno, bajo tierra, ¿no? Básicamente, bajo arena en este caso. Y al vibrar la tierra, la arena cae por rendijas, ¿vale? Es por eso por lo que no cae todo de golpe por la gravedad y tal, ¿vale? Porque la arena se compacta por estratos, ¿vale? Así que eso, hay un sistema de cuevas debajo de esta cosa, básicamente, lo que nos acaban de enseñar. ¿Están todos bien?
Ugh, this day's going just great.
Bueno, no te han cortado el brazo, por lo menos,
What
¿no?
a nuisance.
Y
The
tenemos al
sand
abuelo.
dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body.
La energía residual. O sea, no la misma Arconte haciendo uso de su cuerpo, sino la energía residual. No hay duda. Por fin me crees.
The dendro archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no. He's getting confused again.
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
A ver, había un templo encima, porque no lo va a ver aquí.
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to the Scarlet King's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise the Scarlet King.
¿En serio me vienes con eso ahora? Los ha protegido a
They must have
todos.
fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me.
Sí, porque se podían haber asfixiado bastante fácil en la arena.
Most of them seem in really bad shape, except for him. He got off lightly.
No, claro, él estaba justo encima de... Bueno, justo debajo de ella.
This isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
¿Por qué no? Yo también quiero entrar.
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
Me representa.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of the Scarlet King's civilization appear. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Sí, vale. Yo solo quiero ver cómo es.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say.
Es más o menos lo que son, sí.
New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
Dejarlo ahí, ¿no?
I'll just let them lay here. The Scarlet King will take care of his people.
Bueno.
Right now, I'm going inside.
A ver, Lara Croft, Lord, ¿por qué tantas referencias últimamente con los... Vale, Rey de la jungla también. Vale. Ok. Perdón, es que... se me hace gracia. Un poquito nada más, tampoco... Vale, electro, fuego y hielo. Voy con el equipo perfecto, ¿no? Venga. Igual voy con poco healing, pero bueno, tengo la lonchera. ¡Uy, qué bonito sitio!
It's full of life here.
Sí.
This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Quizás es que está absorbiendo la vida del resto del sitio, o sea, del resto del desierto.
Me? Do you see another Raman here?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
Interpret it however you want, but there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from the Scarlet King civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
Vale. Se ha cerrado el portal cuando me he acercado. Esto es un león. ¿Esto una persona parece? Esto otra persona. Vale. Guía de ritos. Alza tu mirada como mortal hacia el salón y escucha la guía divina del Rey Deshret. Alza la mirada. Bueno, alza la mirada creo que es justamente el que hemos... ¿No le parece bien? Si no es ese... Ah, es que esta no estaba puesta. O eso es que se me están quitando cuando... Ah. Vale, ya te compré, pues, ya te compré, pues. Cuando muevo el de la izquierda, se me mueve el de la derecha. Vale, entonces primero tengo que poner este. Luego tengo que poner este. Y bueno, el otro se me ha puesto ya automáticamente. Vale, 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 vale. Pues todo guay. Todo perfecto. Qué chulo. ¿Qué pasa? Que la zona está chula. Vale. ¿Es eso Osiris? No estoy seguro. No recuerdo mucho sobre historia árabe, ¿vale? Zanahorias y plátanos. Estos sí los voy a matar, que son cofres. Estos son cofres, ¿vale?
Your sins weigh upon your soul. Guilty. You stand condemned. Flames, purge.
Bien, cofre por ahí. A ver, es que igualmente los bichos de los dominios no dan loot, así que da igual matarlos con piro o con lo que sea, ¿vale? Tampoco es que necesite los materiales ahora mismo, ¿no? Oh. Hijos de puta. Mío. Qué hijos de puta es que te doran ahí la boca, te la ponen ahí. Humedecilla. Es una mezcla de ilusiones y mecanismos, ¿eh? Esto es otro ascensor. Vale. Pero ¿cómo lo voy a activar desde fuera? Baja. No se activa desde fuera solo, ¿no? Cuando me suba se activará también. Vale. Es que joder, ¿eh? Es para si me caigo o lo que sea. Es muy pesado la diaria esta, ¿eh? O sea, dentro de un rato cambian las diarias, cambian a las 5, creo. Portal de resurrección. No puedo cambiar de equipo. ¿Qué es esto? Que no puedo porque estoy en combate. Vaya por Dios. ¡Ay! Me han cortado el ataque. ¡Lol! Se puede extender la duración de la ulti usando las SES, ¿vale? Por si no lo habéis notado. Tengo la sensación de que debería estar usando más reacciones dentro, ¿vale? Pero es que no me he puesto agua, me he puesto a Diona y bueno, pues la vida es dura. Para la próxima me pondré... Me pondré otra cosa. Kokomi probablemente. Tras 6 días de infiltración en el templo, por fin los trucos de feria de esos sacerdotes. Bueno, no sé. El ascensor descenderá hasta el piso inferior. Móntate en su techo antes de que suba de nuevo para alcanzar la bóveda. Tonterías como lugar prohibido delante, vetado paso de los mortales, son solo patrañas ideadas por los sacerdotes para engañarnos. Dejaré este método aquí para la gente del Rey Deshret que venga en el futuro sea testigo de su divina presencia. Vale. ¿Y cómo puedo...? A ver, el problema está en que no puedo activarlo. O sea, en la parte de arriba no se podía activar. A ver si es que no he visto algo. Puede. ¿Puedo activar aquí? Puede. Que pueda hacer... ¡Claro! Ya está. Era una tontería. Era solo esperar. Vale, esto huele a boss que lo flipas. Y no puedo cambiar de equipo. Así que lo vamos a pasar muy canuto. Vamos a usar comida, ¿vale? Bueno, no voy a pre-equiparme, la que seguro que hay una cinemática. Voy a equiparme comida. Es que huele a boss a kilómetros. Vamos, eso es horrible. Venga. Ups. He muerto un poco, ¿vale? Glass Cannon y eso, nivel 55, ¿vale? ¿Qué es esto? Será para el boss seguramente, ¿no? Otro velo de antes. Es la misma... Bueno, el mismo mecanismo de antes. ¿Qué es esto? Hay otro aquí. ¿Puedo tocar directamente los paneles estos o...? No, no puedo tocarlos. Vale, van moviéndose por sí solos, ¿no? Necesito que se mueva aquel de allí. Vale. Voy a encender los dos a la vez. Me dan bastante tiempo, pero es que no veo por qué no se cambian los otros dos. O está cambiando el del centro. ¿Por qué no cambias? Ay, que es que lo he dejado apagado, perdón. A ver, lo que quiero ahora mismo es que este se mueva. Porque el del centro se mueve junto con... A ver, este ¿qué mueve? ¿Hay alguna inscripción por algún lado? Hay que hacer lo mismo que antes, ¿eh? Lo que pasa es que el puzzle no lo estoy comprendiendo del todo. Vale, cuando este está encendido y este está ¿qué? Este está encendido. Cuando los dos están encendidos, el de la izquierda se mueve. El del centro se mueve cuando está apagada la cosa, así que... Ahí está. Vamos a dejar este encendido. Que se mueva el de la derecha. Y al apagarlo, dejo que llegue el del centro a su sitio. O eso también funciona. Eso también funciona. Si se nivelan los dos al mismo tiempo, me vale. Oh, seguimos bajando.
Oh, now that's a sight to see. The Scarlet King's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of the Scarlet King.
Ups. Uf. Un portal. ¿Es la reina mayor ruca de bata esta? ¿Qué cojones? Porque hay un árbol aquí chulo. Es muy raro que estuviese en la tumba de... Oye, pues me estoy haciendo fan del Rey Escarlata, cuidado.
Wait.
¿Qué pasa?
What's that?
¿Una estatua? ¿Una efigie? ¿Una efigie?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
Una tumba, sí.
Oh, these are Scarlet King runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient Scarlet King script?
Claro, ha leído muchos libros.
Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
Joder, pobrecilla.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from the Scarlet King's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Vamos, inicia.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise.
De su volumen, perdón.
A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. The Scarlet King brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers, dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained.
Esto es el...
Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible.
Esa es la corrupción del árbol de Irminsul, ¿no?
To build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end.
Oh.
As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping the Scarlet King to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
Acaban de decir que... Acaban de decir que la reina menor es la reina mayor después de agotar sus fuerzas. O me estoy confundiendo. A ver, que podría ser simplemente que se transformase en niña y bueno, no, ya está, no pasaría nada, pero... es lo que han... O sea, es lo que... ¿Es un misdirection esto? Es que no, o sea, puede ser simplemente que se haya vuelto pequeña, ¿eh? O sea, perfectamente, no hay ningún problema con que se haya vuelto pequeña y bueno, luego se muriese, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. Pero... ¿por qué lo dicen así? Me hace confundirme. Es como si sí quisieran decir eso. Vale, bueno, a ver, el rey Deshret se sacrificó a sí mismo, no fue que la reina mayor Rukkhadevata lo matase, ¿no? Ok, vale, info nueva, todo esto es lore nuevo. Y el sacerdote era un juez, ¿eh? Bueno, por lo menos tenía... ¿Qué cosa este?
So the former Dendro Archon and the Scarlet King were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
Igual que Paimon. La reina mayor Rukkhadevata vino a salvar al rey Deshret y su pueblo, pero para eliminar el conocimiento prohibido necesitó mucho poder. Los seguidores de ambos dioses siempre se han odiado, los ignorantes de que sus dioses se apoyaron mutuamente ante la vida y la muerte.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt the Scarlet King's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of the Scarlet King all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused to believe any of the rumors. The Scarlet King's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor. He stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Sí.
Rahman, that's enough. Give it a
Estás en la
rest.
fase de
You're starting
negación.
to make a fool of yourself.
Starting.
Tia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what are we even fighting for?
La relación de hermanos es normal, sí.
Hey, how you doing?
Su vida es una mierda. Bueno, su vida es una mentira. Perdón.
I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for. But please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today,
Tráelos.
somehow I need to explain it.
No parece un lugar especialmente peligroso, es una
not gonna be
tumba y
easy.
ya.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow, I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you too.
Oh, eso, okay.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods
Perdón, la
never gave
frase en
up on
general, sí,
anyone.
un poco.
It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough. But he seems to have figured things out now.
Rahman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in the Scarlet King. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
Bien, las cosas cambiaron para bien. Excepto que, bueno, seguimos en un problemilla con los eruditos, ¿no creo? Bueno, a ver, no los eruditos, los sabios, perdón, que si lo digo de la misma forma se va a confundir un
The
poco.
outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice, long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow.
Sí. Necesitaremos energía mañana. ¿Era tu padre o algo?
Stop yelling.
Sal de la ruina. Se ha quedado mirando mucho la efigie. Quiero verla. Un momentito. Veo cierto parecido. En los ojos, por ejemplo. No estoy seguro. Está bien.
Surrender.
A ver. Vale, antes de hacer esto voy a coger los encargos con el poder de la edición. ¿Habéis visto el poder de la edición? Qué chulo. De pronto ya tengo los encargos. Cogíos, digo. No, a ver. Este es el campamento, ¿no? Esta vez no creo que me vayan a emboscar, ¿vale? No se le veía mala onda.
Rahman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is thanks for agreeing to help.
Ah,
A ver, no habría problema si no hubiese hecho
I
nada
think we
tampoco,
can
pero
both
bueno.
agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Vamos a hacer otra rebelión como la de Inazuma.
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
Oh no, el
There's no
escriba.
need to yell. No one can help you now.
¿Cuál es el trabajo de un escriba aparte de redactar?
Desert trying to find you.
That's right.
A ver, juez, ¿qué se te ocurre?
General Mahamatra? No, no. Make it quick, please. Swift and painless.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turn pale like they've seen a ghost.
Más pálidos que sean viendo la
You should
escriba.
have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So,
¿Ve? Eso lo amenaza, no hace nada.
you're quite busy recently. Why?
Es un trozo de pan.
What are
Es un
they
trocito de
trying
pan.
to accomplish?
They
Dios mío, qué voz
wanted
de
to
mierda.
extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry.
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
¿Puedo preguntarles algo?
Be my guest.
Los sabios están intentando crear un nuevo dios, ¿no es así?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything.
No,
You're serious, aren't
no era una metáfora.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may
Belong.
seem as if Sumeru's academics
Ha
are
usado la
thriving,
palabra.
but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities.
Vale, aquí viene la cosa. Ellos quieren revivir a la reina mayor Rukkhadevata. Lo que el doctor le está dando es un sustituto a la reina mayor Rukkhadevata, que no sería el arconte Dendo en este caso, sino bueno, Escaramucha, por algún motivo. No pensaba que Escaramucha había desertado, ¿vale? Y estaba haciendo sus rollos, pero según parece Dottore también está junto con él, o por lo menos parece estar ayudando a que se consiga convertir a Escaramucha en un dios.
The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, "Do you wish to create a god?"
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Alhaitham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
Pero la reina... O sea, perdón, pero la creación final de los sabios no será la reina mayor Rukkhadevata. La creación final de los sabios es escaramucha.
You must have noticed by now. The academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters.
Vale. Ocurre una cosa. Cuando estás creando un dios, o sea, creando un dios, una de las partes más importantes de ser un dios es que es un dios y hace lo que le sale de los putos cojones, ¿vale? Como cualquier dios, ¿vale? ¿Qué es lo que ocurre cuando creas un dios y le das conocimiento divino? Que va a hacer lo que quiera, siendo mucho más listo. O sea que, en este caso, siendo escaramucha, va a hacer lo que quiera, siendo mucho, mucho, mucho más listo. No sé muy bien cuál es el propósito de que tenga un conocimiento divino de parte de la... O sea, de parte de los eruditos, porque creo que solo lo ha pedido Dottore. O sea, eso es una petición de Dottore, de que necesita tener conocimiento divino para ser un dios. No vale solo con poder. Y claramente eso es mentira, ¿vale? O sea, por cómo han dicho ya cómo funcionan los arcontes, no es necesario. Obviamente, en este caso, ser el dios de la sabiduría implica eso, tener sabiduría, que en este caso se computa en poder también, pero aún así está un poco como cogido por los pelos, pero bueno, venga.
It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
No les cae bien.
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely,
O sea, que ni siquiera tenía la
began to
Noxis
forget
ella
about
ya.
her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
Incluso en una situación como esta se niegan a reconocer a la reina menos Kusanali. Nunca imaginé que una divinidad se podría someter a algo tan cruel. A ver, claramente la tienen encerrada. O sea, por un motivo concreto.
Let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Raman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
Veo que está todo un poco como cogido por los pelos, pero supongo que funciona bien cuando lo pones todo junto. Y eso ya es bastante importante, porque no siempre pasa, ¿eh?
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes.
Bien.
Each
¿Y
one
el
has
abuelo?
a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The two new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too.
Y el abuelo es que vino con nosotros, creo.
Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy.
Después de lo que ha pasado no es tan raro estar triste. O sea, no es raro estar triste. La reina menor Kusanali, que ha hecho tanto por todos, no es más que una causa perdida, abandonada por el santuario Surasthana por la academia. Y las personas a las que protegía nunca pensaron que pudiera haber una niña arconte en este mundo.
Hey, say something. Stop spacing out.
Estoy pensando, Paimon, cállate un rato.
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something else.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Ah,
Oh, Paimon's so coming.
¿hay galletitas saladas o algo? Yo tengo aquí. Voy a
Do
comerme
you
una.
have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
Me gustaría compartir con ustedes lo que sé. Me estoy comiendo una galletita salada de verdad, ¿vale?
So you were still withholding some information?
Sí, lo siento, tenía mis razones, pero ahora sé que estamos juntos en esto. De ella parece muy relajada, como si no le hubiera afectado la pesada conversación. Cino se le ve muy solemne, parece haber tomado una decisión sobre algo, siempre fiel a sus creencias y en busca de lo correcto. Alcén también muestra su disposición a escuchar. Después de eso cuentas toda la historia, compartes todas tus experiencias, emociones y secretos vividos en Sumeru.
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
Sí, es verdad, ha sido súper extraño escucharle hablar de esto. Ha sido muy raro oírle hablar de todo esto. Muy extraño. Eso es todo lo que hemos vivido hasta ahora en Sumeru. ¿Lo habéis escuchado? ¿Os ha gustado la interpretación aquí de Aether? Ha estado bien, me ha gustado a mí también.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems
Le hemos
like
contado
there
también
will
lo
be
que pasó en
more
las
issues to
primeras
face in the
misiones,
days
¿no?
ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Aún tenemos varios problemas, no sabemos cómo quitar la corrupción del árbol de Irminsul. Creo que era Irminsul. Que también está creando bueno, haciendo el Eliasar, ¿vale? O sea, básicamente lo tenemos ya súper confirmadísimo. Si no lo estaba ya confirmado de antes, que ya se había dicho. Seguimos sin saber cómo mierdas solucionar esa parte, porque no parece que esté relacionado de forma directa con el rollo este de crear un dios, ¿eh? O sea, me imagino que forma parte de lo de tener conocimiento divino prohibido o como sea, porque venía de otro mundo el conocimiento. Pero aún así no sabemos cómo solucionar eso y me parece que es bastante importante a la vez, porque Colei me da que se muere si no lo hacemos rápido.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it to continue.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Más o menos.
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Ha dicho nuestro dios, ¿eh? No ha dicho el arconte, ha dicho our god, nuestro dios. Lo importante, no importa lo que nos espere, lo daré todo. Me esforzaré al máximo ante lo que nos espere.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
Traemos a la
Next time we
eremita.
gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
Vale. Quiero escucharles hablar. No hay aún capítulo, pero está capítulo siguiente. No, aún no hay capítulo siguiente. Eso ya será en la siguiente actualización.
Don't rush. This is a big undertaking, and the planning and preparation for what lies ahead will no doubt take some time. Take it slowly. We need to make sure the plan is as effective as possible.
He's starting to read his book again. Hey, are you even listening?
No.
Would you like me to lend you something to read?
No way. Your books aren't quite to Paimon's taste.
Es que no hay dibujitos.
I was joking. I know my books are far too difficult for you, and I have no intention of lending them out.
Ugh, you're so annoying.
Para empezar, lleva más de un libro encima. O sea... No vean, ¿no? Tengo esto. Ahí. Perdón, me han dado una constelación. A ver.
You must let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
De verdad, soy el único que
Though I
nota
cannot
eso en la
leave
voz de
Over
Candace.
Village, I can't help but feel stirred when I see the looks in your eyes. I've never felt as roused as this when fighting alone in the past. I suppose this must be the power of camaraderie.
Friendship también. The power of friendship funciona muy bien. No, filo. Voy a dejar a Cino para el último, de hecho primero.
The past few days have been some of the most challenging work I've ever taken on. And none of it'll earn me a single mora. I can't believe it.
Es casi como si no trabajase solo por dinero, ¿eh?
Look on the bright side, Dia. Maybe we'll get a huge reward after this is all over.
You've got a point. Hey, What would you do if you woke up tomorrow with more money than you could ever spend?
Comprar comida y bañarse en las monedas.
Buy boatloads of tasty snacks.
Ahí está.
That's it?
¿Para qué vale el dinero si no?
And maybe some tasty drinks as well?
How adorable.
Oh. Se veía venir.
Here's to all our indulgent fantasies. If there's a chance they can come true, I'll give it my best shot. And here's hoping that everything we do from now on will change this world for the better.
Se ha hecho de noche de pronto. Vale. Fino.
In the past,
Este hablo solo yo con
I
él.
never
¿eh?
imagined that even the gods could suffer from hardship. If we can find a way to change all of this, will this nation become a better place?
A ver, reventar el sistema akáshico este chulo, devolverle la Noxis a la reina menor, podría por lo menos ayudar un poco a intentar liberar la corrupción de Eleazar, pero aún así no creo que tenga poder suficiente aún con la Noxis, ¿eh? Bueno, pues ya estaría, vamos a salir. Ahora tendremos la misión de Cino disponible, ¿vale? No la tengo desbloqueada ahora mismo, pero bueno, no la vamos a hacer ahora tampoco. Pero bueno, espero que os haya gustado. Y ale. Chao. Ha sido mucho más larga de lo que me esperaba. ¿Qué se la va a hacer?